Ultraman-san. Tiga-san. It's morphin' time! Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome to my review of the Ultra Replica Orb Ring from Ultraman Orb. For those unaware, Ultra Replica is a premium roleplay lineup, essentially taking the original Ultraman toys and transformation devices, upgrading them to higher collector standards. It's similar to Kamen Rider's Complete Selection Modifications or Super Sentai's Memorial Edition. So this thing is decked out with a ton of sounds and features, more so than I could probably even cover in this video, but I'm going to try to cover as much as possible. So I hope you enjoy this journey. Let's begin. Alright, so here's the packaging for the Ultra Replica Orb Ring. Nothing too complicated, but we've got, Orb's main form, so we've got Spacium Zeperion, Thunder Breastar, Hurricane Slash, Burnmite, and Orb Origin. And then on the side we've got Ultraman Taro, Jack, and Zophie. And then on the other side we've got Tiga, Mabius, Zero, and Belial. And basically it's just a simple slide lid, so you slide it off and then everything is inside. And you can see there, Orb Ring cards, 2 parts to the stand, and an instruction sheet in the back. Nothing too fancy. Let's take a look at the actual item itself and see how cool it is. Okay, so let's look at the Orb Ring itself. First things first, it is pretty much a new mold because it is much larger. The handle, for example, can fit my entire hand, whereas the videos I've seen of the deluxe one was a lot smaller, kind of like it would barely fit 3 fingers in an adult hand. This one's definitely larger than what I've seen, and I've seen some comparisons. It's definitely a bit larger, which is awesome. It also doesn't have any screw holes on the back, so as you can see, it's all a pretty clean look. There's no on-off switch on the outside, it's inside the battery cover. And the biggest thing too is that the ring is now enclosed, so you don't see through it like the original deluxe version. But other than that, it's pretty much the same except for the added buttons. So there's 1 here, and 2 more here, and these are for extra sound effects. Speaker is hidden up in the bottom here, and overall pretty good. It also includes this stand. This stand is amazing. All the Ultra Replicas include these, and I love them because then you can have it displayed here. It definitely makes me want to collect Ultra Replicas versus just deluxe toys. That's a lot easier to display. The cards themselves are also changed. They no longer have the katakana for the Ultraman names, but instead is the Ultra language. And then the back of them does not have anything about Fusion Fight. It's just the standard back. These are cardboard, but they are a thick cardboard, so I don't feel like they're going to break. And because they're not sliding into anything, it should be fine. So they aren't plastic like some of the Kamen Rider Complete Selection sets, but they are cardboard. They are glossy on the Ultraman side, matte on the back, and the chips inside are pretty flat, because these are pretty flat cards, and the fact it can read these is pretty incredible. But I wouldn't worry about bending them too much, because I would be careful with them. Like I said, if you were putting them into like a slot, I would want to have plastic cards, but because you're just doing this, it should be fine with the paper, and that gives them a little bit heavier of a feel to them. So let's take a look at this thing. We've got to turn this on to see its sounds, because we got a lot of them to go through here. So we're going to pop this open, and it does take 3 AA's, not AAA's, because there's just a ton to it. If you move the switch over here to mode 1, it'll be kind of your standard sound demo mode, and then mode 2 has specific episode features for the different forms and everything. So let's slide it over to mode 1 first. So the original deluxe toy, when you turn it on, it would have kind of this flash, and then it would just be in a standby mode. Here you have an extra button. So you press the button once, it'll flash, which will allow you to scan cards without having to do anything with the standby sound. But if you press it again, then you get your typical standby sound. You can press it once more, turns off. You can also hold it down to go straight into the standby. So that's pretty cool. The red button, of course, brings those down, and that'll work with the fusions. Two buttons over here. One plays music, one plays voice clips. So the music button will go through the tracks briefly. I don't want to play them all just for the sake of time and copyright. But track number 1, theme song, ending song, guy's theme, guy's harmonica, Orb's theme, battle theme, another battle theme, scarier battle theme, Orb Origin theme, fast battle theme, and then it goes back to the theme song. This button here will play voice clips from Kurenai Guy, and they go for as such. Alright, so we've got two different modes in this thing. So it's currently in the primary mode. The primary mode will scan all cards, work like a roleplay toy, that sort of thing. The secondary mode, which we'll look at in the second part, will actually contain full voice clips for the transformations and everything like that. So what we'll do for each of these segments of the main forms is we'll show the primary, then the secondary, primary, then secondary. I'm not going to mention the transition each time. We're just going to roll through it because there's a lot of sounds to get through. So let's get started. This first form, Spacium Zeperion, uses Ultraman and Ultraman Tiga. So you get the full transformation plus Orb's phrase, and then if you press the red button, you get attacks. For Spacium Zeperion, there's two different ones. So that's mode 1. So here is mode 2. Now in this mode, the light turns off automatically and you have to press the button to get Orb's chant. And then pressing that button 2 more times will get you the attack sounds like usual. Now when you're ready to switch forms, you gotta hold down the voice button and it'll actually transition by telling you what form it's going to. So next up for Burnmite, we're going to use Ultraman Taro and Ultraman Mabius. And this also features 2 attacks.
熱いやつ頼みます。フュージョンアップ。ウルトラマンオーブバーンマイト。
Next up, Hurricane Slash, which uses Ultraman Jack and Ultraman Zero. Thunder Breastar uses the powers Ultraman Zophie and Ultraman Belial. Now in Mode 2, Thunder Breastar is a little more complicated because there's two different versions of the sound effects due to the nature of Thunder Breastar being kind of an evil, dark form that Orb had, and it was a berserker form, so you need to kind of purify it. So we're going to start with the first one. So here's a more normal version of Thunder Breastar after the whole purification process. And then here is the final version of the transformation for Thunder Breastar. Now the next form is Orb Origin. Now this doesn't work exactly like it does in the show because Orb Origin's card would summon the Orb Caliber for Guy to do the transformation with. Instead of that, we have the full transformation sounds for Orb Origin within the ring just with the use of this one card, so let's get to it. I love the multiple colors of the rings there. What's cool is for Orb Origin's Mode 2 form, it actually does a little bit more than just a name and some voices. And there you go. That is Orb Origin. So next up we have Orb's movie form, Orb Trinity, which features Ginga, Victory, and X. X has to be a little extra. This is another one of those where he would have used the Trinity Slugger to transform fully, but it's all in here this time, which is great. Next, we're going to move into the forms introduced in Ultra Fight Orb, starting with Lightning Attacker, which uses Ginga and X. And then his other form, which is the last one that was featured in the series as a special sound, is Emerium Slugger, which is 7 and 0. So that reaches the end of the forms that have special sounds, but there is one more we still got to show. And that is the final episode transformation sounds.
Ultraman さん Ultraman さん Ultraman ティガさん Ultraman ティガ光の力お返ししまーす Ultraman Orb Spacium Zeperion.
Now that may be the end of the show and movie forms that Orb used that would have special Mode 2 sounds. We're going to switch back to the primary mode because there is still more this thing can do. Quick thing out of the way, this does have a display mode where you can turn the light on without any sounds. If you hold down the voice button while in primary mode, you get white, red, green, blue, purple, yellow, Spacium Zeperion, Burnmite, Hurricane Slash, Thunder Breastar, Orb Origin, and then it goes back to all the colors. So you can have this displaying whatever color you'd like, and it'll turn off after a minute or two. Now we've gone through a lot of the cards that are included, but there are several we haven't looked at yet. So these are the first three are remakes of cards that were released during Orb's days in the deluxe line, and that would be Dyna, Gaia V2, and Agul V2. So these are remakes. These were included because of the TGD 25th anniversary, the Tiga Dyna Gaia anniversary, and that's because if you pair it with the Ultraman Tiga you need for Spacium Zeperion, there's actually a special sound with all of these. So let's do that now.
Ultraman Tiga, Ultraman Dyna, Ultraman Gaia, V2, Ultraman Agul, V2. ティガさん、ダイナさん、ガイアさん、アグルさん、25年間お疲れさんです。これからも世話になります。TDG 25th Anniversary.
So it's Gaia giving a message to Tiga, Dyna, and Gaia, and Agul on their 25th anniversary of their trilogy, which is pretty cool. That's actually a really neat thing. There is another secret sound for the 55th anniversary of Ultraman that you can do with the Showa Brothers, but you have to have the Ace card, which isn't included in this set, that was released back in the day, but will be in the forthcoming Ultra Replica special card set, which we'll look at when it releases in December? It's kind of a ways off. But as another bonus, there were more Ultra Fusion cards included, including Geed Primitive, Rosso Flame, Blue Aqua, Taiga, Zet Original, and Trigger Multi-Type. So these are essentially the main Ultras that have come since Orb. Now these can be used in conjunction with the Orb Ring and the other cards. What's kind of insane is that all of these cards have their transformation sounds from their individual Ultramen. So it's sort of like the Deca driver from Kamen Rider Decade. So let's run through those as fast as possible. Basically, if you put it in, and you can put any two cards in and it'll just overlap their transformation sounds, but we're going to hear all their sounds individually before going into some more fusions that are possible just straight out of the box with this thing. And then you also get attacks for these.
Spacium Emerium
So that's all the cards on their own, but there are some fusions, not just orb ones, inside this thing, so I'm going to show as many as I've found that work with the cards included. Alright, we're going to start first with forms from the Fusion Fight arcade game for Ultraman Orb, starting with Mebium especially, which is Mebius and Ginga.
Ultraman Mebius, Ultraman Ginga. Fusion up! ウルトラマンオーブメビウムエスペシャリーまばゆい光で未来を示せメビウスピングレード
Next we have Thunderstream, which is Agul and Belial.
ウルトラマンアグ V2 ウルトラマンベリアルフュージョンアップ ウルトラマンオーブサンダーストリーム闇を光の嵐サンダーストリームトリターン
Next up we have Zeperion Solgent with Tiga and Dyna.
ウルトラマンティガウルトラマンダイフュージョンアップ ウルトラマンオーブゼペリオンソルジェント光の輝きとともにマルチフラッシュスレーター
And then lastly we have Photon Victorium, which is Gaia and Victory.
ウルトラマンガイア V2 ウルトラマンビクトリーフュージョンアップ ウルトラマンオーブフォトンビクトリウム闇を砕いて光を照らせフォトリウムシェータ
Next we have some fusions that happen in Ultraman series that aren't necessarily special fusions, but are for specific forms. For example, Gaia and Agul.
ウルトラマンガイア V2 ウルトラマンアグ V2 ウルトラマンガイアスプリームバージョンフォトンエッジ
There's another one we do with Zero and Belial that's interesting.
ウルトラマンゼロウルトラマンベリアル ゼロダークネス
And then we have Ginga and Victory for Ginga Victory.
ウルトラマンキンガウルトラマンビクトリーウルトラフュージョン ウルトラマンギンガビクトリーウルトラフュージョンシュート
And then, of course, Rosso and Blue can become Rube.
ウルトラマンロッソウルトラマンブル ウ
But that's not all. Jeed's fusion rises are also here because this thing is just insane. So if you start with Jeed and then add 2 cards after, you can get forms. Now in the base package for the Orb Ring, we can only do 2 forms, one from the show, one from out the show, and we will do those here and then do more when the special set comes out.
Ultraman Jeed, Primitive, Ultraman Burial, Fusion Rise.
Now that's not that much different from just using the Jeed primitive card, but the fact it has the fusion rise for the fusing of these is pretty cool. And then the other one we can do is one of Jeed's non-show forms.
Ultraman Jeed, Primitive, Trophy, Ultraman Emerium Fusion Rise. Ultraman Jeed, Fire Leader.
And that's awesome, but we're still not done. Zet's Ultra Metals also did fusion, so you can replicate those here. Again, we can't do all the forms, but we can do one show one non-show one, and then one for another character.
Ultraman Z Original, Ultraman Figure, Ultraman Gaia, Ultraman Gaia V2, Ultra Fusion. Ultraman Z Gamma Future.
So that's pretty cool as well. And here's the other one.
Ultraman Z Original, Trophy, Ultraman Emerium, Ultraman Figure, Ultra Fusion. Ultraman Z Sigma Breastar.
And of course, like I said, there's one last one, once again with Jeed, but if you know where this is going...
Ultraman Jeed, Primitive, Ultraman X, Ultraman Ginga, 覚醒せよ Orb Origin, Ultra Fusion. Ultraman Jeed, Galaxy Rising.
And that's Jeed's form using Ultra Metals and a Zet Riser, performed in the Orb Ring with fusion cards. Life is great. And that's all the fusions I could find in this from the cards they provided, and I'm looking forward to unlocking a whole bunch more when the special set comes out. Before we wrap this up, I did forget, if you hold down the music button, then do a henshin,
覚醒せよ Orb Origin. Ultraman Orb Origin.
it plays the theme song after the transformation. So that does it for this review. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and tell me what you want to see Ultra Replica tackle next. Personally, I'm thinking there's going to be a Dark Orb Ring, isn't there? We haven't seen any Kaiju cards yet, and we'll see what comes up. Also, subscribe and hit the notification bell to keep up with future uploads, and check out my other videos on the channel. I have some videos on Mill Creek's Ultraman Blu-ray and DVD releases, as well as other various tokusatsu videos, as well as other topics. And I hope you enjoy it, And thank you to everyone that already does. I appreciate you all. Also, special shout out to my graphic designer, DarkClaw643, and Orenberry OD, who helped work on the animations and the graphics seen in the video. So go give them a follow and check out their work. They are awesome people. Also, be sure to check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for Ultraman news and more. And until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.
Ultraman Ginga, Ultraman X, Fusion Up, Ultraman Orb, Lightning Attacker.